Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a Wish product review. First off, we are going to be reviewing an electronic that I had purchased 4 months ago and I have been using ever since. So how many of you are looking for an iPad or any tablet particularly that is inexpensive and that is just as good or probably even better than the original? Well, I have an iPad mini here. It's currently on charge, so I am kind of limited with mobility, but I had purchased this approximately 4 months ago from Wish, and I was looking for an iPad because I had been wanting one. Naturally, that's just me. When I want something, I want something. So I had found Wish and started purchasing things from there, and everything was going good. There is a little bump in the road with this product though, and I will get to that. So fast forward to, well, actually rewind to September. So in September, I had found this iPad. I was scrolling through looking for the cheapest one. This happened to be the cheapest one that I had found. It was about $120, $130 some dollars, somewhere around there. So I had the money, bought the case, bought the iPad, and voila, I waited for it. So upon arrival, I noticed that there was a few things that were kind of bothersome. And one of those things is that the case was the wrong color. I had specifically ordered this case. Now, I'm not complaining by any means. I'm just saying I just didn't understand. I didn't know if maybe they ran out of that color or something, but I mean, it could have been an inconvenience. I don't know. But the case came in lime green. And in person, it looks more like a peas green, not lime green. But since I have a small selfie ring light, it looks a lot brighter than what it is. But lo and behold, I just figured, okay, well, why not just stick with it anyways? At least it's a case, it's protecting my iPad. I'm not going to complain, and it wasn't that expensive. But to me, it was more of just a preference thing. I preferred to have the color that I ordered. But like I said, I'm not complaining. It's just preference. Everyone's preference is different. So I had ordered the case and I had ordered the iPad. They both came at separate times. So I was kind of afraid to use the iPad without the case. But unfortunately, there was nothing else that I can do. So I was just cautious with it until it arrived. So while I was using my iPad mini without the case, I had noticed that there was something really strange about the back. It didn't really bother me at first. I was like, okay, maybe it's just like that. I mean, I didn't know, but on the back it had a foil colored silver-like tinted, I mean, I don't really know how to explain it, decal completely all over the back, as if it was like a case on there. Kind of like a skin that you would get for an iPad or something like that. So I had completely peeled that off. And I had noticed on the back that it said Putnam, property of Putnam City Schools. So I started freaking out. But then again, I thought, okay, it's just a refurbished iPad, so maybe, you know, that's just the case that they had used when they was inspecting it and everything else. So, I mean, other than that, I've checked the whole settings and everything. It doesn't bring anything up about, you know, that school or anything in the settings like it would, and like I've had an experience before. So I thought, okay, maybe it's just when they was refurbishing it. Another thing that bothers me about this case is that it is cracking a lot. Now, I have not particularly dropped this iPad. I don't use it as much as I first did, but it basically just sits on my entertainment stand. So I don't know how these cracks got here, but there is a crack right here that you can see. It starts right up here at the top and it goes all the way down. And then there is one right here. You probably can't see it that well, but it's there. So one of the things that I would recommend for cases for an iPad mini, definitely don't go with one of these cases unless you're going to be using it very lightly. If it's going to be used lightly, that's perfectly fine. It's not going to have any, you know, chance of being damaged. I mean, how this got damaged, I'm not sure. But, I mean, other than that, it's protecting the case. It's not really that big of a deal. It's just a concern because I'm afraid that it might crack more. Now, the case overall, I mean, it's decent. It's, you know, able to be accessed with these buttons rather well. I mean, there's no problem. And it seems to work perfectly fine. You know, up here there's these little notches for all of the buttons and the ports there. And then this case, one thing that I really like about this case is that when you open it, it turns it on. So I like that ability. So we're just gonna slide this. We'll go through, and let me get off my Facebook Messenger. So as you can see, it works perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. We'll start up YouTube. Now, some apps are going to open a little slower, some might open faster. There you go, it opened up really quickly. So there you have it. I mean, this is, first off, the apps. I would like to point out that some of these apps are not going to be as quick as it would be on a newer device. I mean, we all know, I mean, even if you don't know, that's fine. But when it comes to a device like this, there's going to be limitations. You're not going to be able to get a lot of the newer apps out there. And even if you could, per se, like jailbreaking or whatever like that, it probably wouldn't be as reliable, and it would probably be a little bit slow. Now, another thing is when you are going through the App Store, you know, like I said, you're going to be limited, so there's going to be some apps that you pick up that are going to be a little bit sluggish. They might take a few minutes. And another thing is your memory. I mean, honestly, I think this is like a 16 gigabytes. So, I mean, I hold a lot of pictures on here. I have close to 1,000 pictures or more, and I also have a bunch of apps, and I even have some music. So, all in all, I would review this out of 5 stars. I would probably say 3.5, 4 star, because first off, the case itself is cracked. It was the wrong color. Like I said, I'm not complaining. It's just preference. Everyone's preference is different. If I had intentionally wanted to get a green case, I would have ordered it, but I'm not going to complain because it still is doing the job. So other than the fact that there was a sticker on the back, other than the fact that there was a, you know, waiting time, which is to be expected with Wish, because Wish does come from other places. Naturally, their products will come from overseas, so it's going to take a little bit longer. And that's one of the biggest problems too. If you're going to use Wish, make sure that you have enough money to pay for shipping if you want your product to come earlier, because believe me, honey, you're going to be dropping a dime. And I don't mean just one dime, I mean a whole dime. We're talking a whole bag of dimes. It's going to take a lot. So I mean, it maybe not. I don't know. If you have codes, it's fine. Which you can find those codes below here on YouTube, all over the place. I'm sure there's videos of codes everywhere. Those codes come in handy, especially if you want to take some off of your cart. So another thing, let's just weigh out the pros and cons. First off, the pros, I mean, the iPad works. Even though it's refurbished, I've had no problems, knock on wood. It is in immaculate condition. It came at a decent time. It didn't take forever. I mean, hey, the speed with some of the apps is perfect. There's a lot of things about this iPad that I would recommend, and especially if you're looking one to just fiddle around with, or if you're looking one for your kid or for work, it's perfect. I love the price, the quality. The only thing that I didn't like I said, was just that there was, you know, a few minor setbacks, you know, between not receiving, you know, the case on time, which they were supposed to be at the same time, but that's okay. Like I said, when you are reviewing Wish and when you're going on Wish, one of the biggest things is to make sure that they're verified, because if they are verified, you're going to get a better shipment. You're going to get your products on time. Your products might even come earlier, but that's natural. And another thing is you're going to have good products, and that's what matters, because do you want your products coming from a different place, like a school, and freaking you out? No, I don't, because I've had that problem before. But anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Sorry if I was rambling on and on, if I repeated myself. It's my first time and I'm only learning. So once again, pros and cons. Definitely, I would say the pros outweigh the cons. I mean, just because there's some cracks in this case and there was this decal and this weird backing, doesn't mean that it's not a good product. But other than that, it's reliable, it's fast, it's a job done. You're able to do many things on it just like you would a normal iPad or a more expensive iPad. And I think that it's compact, which is great because it's honestly about the size of a eyeshadow palette. I mean, depending on the size, but it's still a great buy, especially for kids, especially for yourself, whoever. Just be leery about who you purchase from, what their rating is, if there's a lot of negative ratings, if there's a lot of there's a short amount of stars per se. Like if there's like only 2 or 3 stars, that's not good. But basically just make sure that it's verified, that they have a lot of reviews, and your shipment and your product will arrive in good condition, hopefully. Sometimes that doesn't always mean it, but I am sorry about the mess, sorry if I'm out of breath because I've been sick, and I'm sorry if this video was not exactly as good as it should be. But I just want to make a disclaimer that this is my first time making a video and it's going to take a little bit of time, but I appreciate the support. If you guys have any comments that you would like to comment below, like maybe another video idea or whatever, or any tips or anything like that, comment below. Like, subscribe, and follow on everything. I am on Instagram and I am on Snapchat. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye!